Good morning, everyone. Dr. Lilly here, and today I'm going to be taking you guys on another marathon vlog. Today we're going to spend a lot more time on the track. It's a little bit longer of a run. A lot of things that I wanted to discuss on today's video, so stay tuned for that. There's a lot of information that's going to be very valuable in terms of your training, whether it is for a marathon, whether it is for weightlifting or just getting in better shape, losing weight, whatever it may be. Gonna wanna watch this video. It's gonna be a very, very good one. So without further ado, let's get back on the road and we'll see you guys there. So actually before my runs, one of the first things that I always do is I take one of these bottles with me. It's a very convenient handheld bottle. You just stick your fingers through here and it wraps around your hands like this, and it makes it very easy to consume any liquids while I'm running. So this is something that I usually carry with any of my runs that are any longer than 20 minutes, really, which is almost all, basically all of my runs now since I'm training for a marathon. When I take this bottle on the road, I don't like to just only have water with it, because when you are running and you are sweating a lot, you tend to lose a lot of electrolytes as well. One of the main electrolytes that you lose is salt along with water. So you got to have something that's electrolyte based to help replenish your body, help recover while you're running, help decrease the chances of cramping and getting those cramps in your stomach and things like that. This awesome product called G1M Sport. I've been using this for several years now. It's actually one of my favorite things. It's great tasting. It's not too harsh on the body. It has a ton of salt, which again is a very important electrolyte to help sustain that running process. But the greatest thing too is that it comes with a fast dissolving substance that essentially provides a bit of a sugar rush, or sugar in your bloodstream in your body to burn off and use as energy as well. So if you're doing anything long distance, 10, 12, 20 miles, or in my case a marathon, which is 26 miles, you're gonna need extra fuel while you're running to sustain that stress that you're putting on your body, right? One scoop, it's a pretty big scoop, I'll show you in a second, is about 20 grams of carbs, which is essentially glucose. It's sugar, and then it has 350 milligrams of sodium per serving. So the scoop, something like this, it's almost looks like a protein scoop if you've ever scooped a scoop of protein in your drinks and whatnot. So very important for my runs. It's something that I use on pretty much every run, and something I've been using for several years, a product I highly recommend. So anytime you see me running with my bottle, which you probably will in my videos, I am carrying this G1M Sport. It is phenomenal. But before I go, the hardest part is always leaving these two little babies every morning to go for my runs. Look how cute. Oh, Mr. Evie wants Mr. Evie wants more attention. All right, buddy, I gotta go. All right, good morning, everyone. So, on the run, just started, only about a minute and a half in. Right now, it's just a warm-up. For today's workout, we'll explain that first before I go into any other topic. So, today's run, it's a 20-minute warm-up. After that, we have a progression run, and the progression run is essentially 10 minutes at an increased pace. So not necessarily a sprint, but if my normal pace is 10 minutes per mile, my goal pace is anything under 9 minutes for an entire 10-minute stint. So 10 minutes straight of running at my increased pace. Stuff I'm aiming for 9 minutes and under. Should get a little bit over a mile in 10 minutes. So that's the goal for today. After this 20-minute warm-up, once we finish that progression run, it's just an easy walk, jog, just kind of cool down. That'll be the end of the workout. So, sounds simple, but it's definitely going to be a tough one. All right, so we're about 16 and a half minutes. Got about 1.6 miles in so far. In a few minutes, we're going to start the progression run. I'll take you guys along for that. Before we do that, I just wanted to touch upon, again, the importance of recovery and having these deload weeks. So last week, I had a deload week. Didn't do any filming. Just had easy 30-minute runs. And I feel great this week. So I'm going to pick up another tough month of training and get back to it. Okay, so got about 10 seconds before we start the progression run. When you hear the watch beep, that means we're going.
So again, for the progression run, it's a 10-minute run. So it's a timed run. Try and run as fast as you can. But for me, I'm trying to maintain my tempo, maintain my pace, which the goal is to be under 9 minutes for the entire 10 minutes. Right now, actually running a little fast. I'm at about 7:55. So I'm gonna slow down a little bit. Got about a little over 5.5 minutes. I've maintained an 8:25 minute pace. So remember, this is not a mile run. Rather, it's a full 10-minute run. Try to maintain this pace. I know I can run a little bit faster, but I'd surely burn out. Whew. All right, everyone, just finished my progression run. 10 minutes, full out sprints, but maintaining that sprint pace. Again, it's more of a effort intensity type workout today. Not so much worried about gaining as much mileage as I can. It's all about quickening my pace, moving my feet faster, making the workout overall more intense. So the other 80% of my runs, which is the long, slower paced runs, can improve. So progression runs, that's why we do them. It's very key, and it builds off the sprint interval workouts that we were doing. So 2 weeks ago, my marathon vlog number 3, I did 8 rounds of sprint intervals. Earlier this week, I did 10 rounds of the sprint intervals. Rested yesterday, and then today I had the progression run. So adding a lot more intensity. Before, these intense workouts were only about once a week. Then we had the deload week. So far it's twice a week. So really pushing the pace, really increasing the tempo, increasing my foot speed, increasing my effort overall. And again, the goal for this marathon is, 1, to finish it, but also the stretch goal is to finish it in under 3.5 hours. So got to maintain an 8-minute pace, I think, and do that for the entire race. So these workouts are going to be worth it. Going back based off what I was just talking about with the sprint interval trainings, I added 2 more rounds for it, plus this progression run, all in the same week. Again, this is stressing the importance of having these deload weeks or these recovery weeks, so my legs feel fresh to take on that load, take on that task, take on the intensity, all while staying injury free. So when you're pushing your training, that's why it's important to have these micro, meso, and macro cycles, because you want to pace yourself. Remember, for me, the race is in about 140 days time. It's in March, middle of March. So I don't need to worry about today's workout necessarily going 150%, maxing out my effort. Obviously I want to push myself, but I want to do it smart. With that said, being smart in your training, remember, you always got to look at the bigger goal. You know, sometimes, at least personally, I like to have this competitive ego. I used to be an athlete. So I have this ego to always push myself, to always go. But sometimes I need to check that ego and slow it down a bit. Focus on the bigger prize at the end of this training cycle. So that's one thing, one little nugget of wisdom I like to pass on to everyone when it comes to your training, whether it's weight loss, training for a marathon yourself, or whatever. You just got to understand that you have to ease your way into these things. I mean, I'm only on my 5th week of training. Like I said, there's 140 odd days or something. 4 more months, have plenty of time. And so far, I'm very happy with the process. I'm very happy with how far I've come so far. And there's just the strides and the progress that I'm making. I know I'm going to be able to do it. And again, like I said in other videos, the main thing with me is keeping my body from falling apart. So that's going to be the big focus, focusing on recovery. I think for one of these videos, I'll maybe dive more into the recovery and talk about several things that I do throughout the day to help with my recovery, to help fuel me for the next workout. But yeah, as far as this week's training, picking up the intensity again. This weekend, gonna have a long 50-minute, easy, low heart rate run, and the goal there is to try to get 4 to 5 miles, somewhere in that range. So yeah, probably won't film that one, but if you follow me on my social channels, you'll be able to see it. So thanks for watching, you guys. Take care.